We're going to start this little workout with the straps at 6 or just above 6. So go ahead and adjust your door stretcher so that the notch of 6 is right through that D-ring attachment on either side. So that means for me it's hanging about mid-thigh height. From here we're going to hold on to it and walk backwards till it's almost taut. Bring your hands through the inside of the sling and wrap them around so you've got little cuffs and your hands are about shoulder distance apart. Now, lean back on that. Walk your feet forward until it feels like you have a comfortable hang. And let's just do a few shoulder shrugs here. So we're going to sink our back backwards and then pull our chest forward, bringing our scapula together in our back. We'll have 3 more of those, focusing on the movement between the ribs and the shoulders. Start to send your feet down to the ground energetically so they're reaching in such a way that you're decompressing your spine. Your legs are pulling your tail. Your shoulders are massaging the upper parts of your spine. And you'll notice that's causing a bit of an undulation or a cat-cow movement, some flexion and extension. Let's start to exaggerate that. So we're going to round and sink the back through now, but keep pushing the feet down. And then as you pull your shoulders back, let the hips go forward. Let your head hang back. Start hinting at a back bend. And repeat that 3 more times, letting the movement grow organically. Don't be afraid to let your shoulders come up to your ears. Just also don't be afraid to move your elbows down to your hips when that feels good too. Now we're going to make our bodies stiff like a plank. We're going to hang our straight body back and just pull our arms through for a standing pull-up 4 times. Don't get dramatic about it. Stay stringent with an almost rigid posture. Focusing the work on the arms. And then step your feet forward by just 1 foot length. If you find yourself slipping, adjust so that you're on a less slippery surface. That might mean taking off your socks. It might mean putting yoga mat down. All floors and all feet are different. You do you. You'll notice that this gets harder the closer you stand into your door. That's the intention. Stand up. Take a breath. Reload with your hands. They may have slipped together a bit. And step again, 1 foot length forward. You're allowed to start to bend your knees if you need to get underneath the sling. Pull your elbows behind your back every time. And try for 1 more. Remember, let your knees bend if you need. Use your glutes, push your hips up. And here, if you want, you can play with dropping into a back bend and then pulling up. Walk all the way back. Keep holding on to the sling. Walk your hips back. And now stretch out your back. Do a few cat-cows, hanging the hips backwards, not letting them come forwards. Start to send your arms out away from your hips to lengthen your upper body off your lower. And then shift your hips side to side. You can get a little sway going. Every time you lean a hip down away from your arms, stretch on that side and enjoy it. And then come up. We're going to switch to lying down with our heads close to the door. So first of all, let's lower the sling down, taking the number 6 notch through the D-ring strap and go about halfway down towards the end. So you just want to have enough strap still showing at the edge that you're not concerned about somehow it slipping off. Although I have not ever had that happen, at least not yet. This is going to give your legs the most room to move. Once you have that, turn around, lie down on your back. And I like to push my hands against the door for a little length, so we're just going to start with that. Pressing the palms up against the door, and feel how you can let that pressure translate all the way through into your abs, your glutes, and your feet. Give a corresponding push into the feet, and let's have 4 hip bridges, just pressing up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lower down, flat body, not rolling right now. Feel the length emerging in your torso as your hips go down. Inhale when you're down. And repeat that 3 more times. If you need to change your hand positions because your shoulders are getting a little upset, go ahead and play with that. Each arm position engages slightly different muscles and helps you to stabilize in a different way. You might find something that feels really good for the back of your neck. Another position that feels really good for your abs. You pick, you choose. Now take the sling and put 1 foot in it. I'm going to stretch the other leg out. You can let your hands go to the sides of you can let your hands go to the floor here and arrange the leg, crossing and opening 8 times. First of all, notice how the hip wants to follow the leg, and then experiment with keeping the back stable on the floor and just moving the leg in the hip socket. Keep pressing your stabilizing leg out and reaching your sit bones down along the floor so that your lower body remains long, slightly tractioned by the work of the legs. Stabilize that leg. Push it into the sling, and now raise and lower the free leg 8 times. Try a few with your foot flexed, a few with it pointed, and maybe even a few with it in half point, aka Barbie doll foot. The work is to keep the body stable and start to squeeze the thigh bones together inside the pelvis. Change sides. Putting the left leg in, right leg down, or if you had the other ones in, do the other ones. And start with range of the leg, noticing your body's tendency to take the movement into the most mobile places. And then experiment with creating mobility in the hip socket by stabilizing everything else on the floor. Couple more. And then still the leg in center, and 8 times raise and lower the free floating leg. Keep both sit bones reaching along the floor. Don't let the pelvis tuck or arch, so pull your navel back and reach the base of the pelvis long towards the baseboard of the wall in front of you. Playing with your foot positions. And then put your right leg in the sling. Bend the knees into your chest. Exhale. Inhale into your lower back. Exhale, press the legs out. And inhale into your lower back. Try pushing the hands against the door. Do that again. Knees in. Keep the resistance. Let your lower back curl a little bit. And then going out. Maybe letting the pelvis go down. Twice more. Now we're going to add a knee circle. So come in with the knees in parallel, turn the legs out. You'll want to flex your feet here to keep the feet in the strap and extend out. We're going to start to hover the pelvis here so it's about 2 inches off the floor the whole time. lubricating those thighs in the hip sockets. Change directions. And allow that movement to crawl your hips slightly further upwards. Now, straighten the legs. Roll the spine down. Inhale. Exhale, roll the spine up. 3 more times. Pick up your right leg, reach it to the door. Go down and up 4 times. Really pressing into the back of the left hamstring. Try to keep your hips level so they're parallel in relation to the rest of you. You're not twisting at all in the hips. Your left leg is just doing all the work and your right leg is reaching and your arms are working too. Change sides. I kind of lied there. Your whole body is working in different ways for all kinds of reasons that work together. 4 times down and up. And come down. Take your legs out. Bring your hands through the center of the strap again, and wrap around to make the cuffs. Pull down with your arms and just hang your legs side to side and rotate your happy baby side to side. Think about lightly stabilizing with your arms. So maybe your organs that are around your spine remain in center, but there is a little rolling with the ribs, just less than in the hips. And then experiment with a little side pedaling. And bend the knees in. Take hold of both straps with the left hand. Roll to your right. Send your left arm behind you and turn your shoulder in. Come back. Roll back. When you land in center, transfer hands, grab in the center or just grab, and roll to the other side. Roll your elbow down. And come back and turn that into a smooth exercise, passing yourself side to side. So you're pulling up with your arms, and you're rolling with your core. One more to each side. And then come all the way up to kneeling. And stand up. We'll end with a little inversion. So come inside the strap. You can gather around your butt. Use your hands to help you sit down. Move it so it's around the SI joints, not too far up your waist. And then walk your feet up your door. When you get to that point where your knees are bending, bend them outside the strap. So it looks like a reverse diaper, like a sling, like a standard way to invert. And walk your legs up. And give it a nice hang. I recommend staying here until your body tells you it wants to come out. But in the interest in everybody's time, I'll show you the dismount now. And I'll end class, but you don't have to stop. So to dismount, you're going to gently extend one leg and then the other. Slip the knees through and lift your hips up. That's going to let your butt come down. And then just push yourself away from the door. And you can rest with your legs up for a few minutes if you like. Or just roll to your side and get on with life. I hope you enjoyed this. See you in class.